But he looks like he lost some weight. Now notice this guy has actually played in so many Pro League matches. He's played almost 200, or he's played over 200 games. He almost is in the 100 win club, in fact. But this is the first time he's played this season. He's lost his last 5 matches in a row.
Yeah, very interesting to see, actually, from the past seasons of Pro League. He's actually on a 5-game losing streak. He could change that around here today. We haven't seen this guy in so long, and as is the way with guys we haven't seen in so long, they can always come out after having practiced for a very long time, very well prepared for this one game, and do very well. But he has a gigantic opponent against him. He's up against Bbyong, who is right now 10-3, 3-1 against Zerg. He has one of the best ratios of one of the best winning players in Pro League, and he's looking really strong. He is. He's looking insanely strong. Top 3 Terran in the world in my eyes, and I don't know, hyvaa is a great player. He was a legend. He was a great StarCraft 1 player, looking solid in StarCraft 2 at the beginning of his career. Very cheesy, very all-in, but the scary thing about him is 1 out of 5 games he will play a crazy, risky, greedy macro game. Yeah, and here we do have the predictions for this one. 4 of us going with Bbyong, and just Kanata going for hyvaa. Well, I'm hoping he pulls something crazy out here. He is the 3rd and last researched and found discovered chipmunk, along with Choya and Noveles. We have not seen this guy in a long time. I'm hoping he brings some flashy, crazy cheese to the table here, because in a straight-up game against Bbyong, I don't think he stands a chance. The map is Frost. This is the SPL.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Up here on the top right in the teal for MVP, the last hope for them today, it is hyvaa.
And over here at the bottom right in the yellow for CJ Entis, one of the best Terrans in the world, it's Bbyong. One of 3 Terrans in Codes last season, one of 4 this season.
They're cheering for Bbyong, but I have to say, that's a pretty bad drawing of Bbyong.
Yeah, he doesn't look like that.
I guess it's supposed to be a cheerleader. Are those pom-poms?
I think so.
What's that?
Well, ring around the rosy or something. I don't know. We'll never know.
They were very embarrassed by that.
Now, I want to see a majestic cheese. I want to see the type of cheese out of hyvaa where I look at it and I go, that is the finest cheese I have ever tasted. I want to see a cheese that says to me, like, oh my God, he must have been talking to cats about this one. Okay, I want to see a cheese that makes me feel inspired. I want to see something like that.
Like better than a nice gorgonzola or something. Something like really high class.
That's Choya's name on the sign there. Choya and hyvaa are actually known to look similar. That's why Calder and I call them chipmunks, because I don't know, Calder seems to think they like chipmunks. I kind of see what he means, but now, in general, they do look pretty similar, and this is a long-standing joke. So that sign was just like, oh, hey, Choya. Oh, wait, that's not Choya. And another fan we've got here. Actually, one of our announcers, I believe. Yeah, she comes out before the games start here for the fans. You guys don't get to see it back on the stream, but if you're here in the studio, she will pump you up and get you ready for the games, ask you who's cheering for who, which team you think is going to win, stuff like that. For some reason, she reminds me of Catelyn Stark, but
yeah, a little bit actually.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So
you're good at this. You're good with faces and stuff.
I look at her face and I'm like, she's the Korean version of Catelyn Stark. Yeah, she should be cast as it. Now, just looking at this current game, we actually don't see anything too crazy out of hyvaa just yet. Whereas we have a CC first in the double barracks going up for Bbyong.
Yeah, just pretty standard back at hyvaa's base. Bbyong, it is Frost. It's not Maze, but it is Frost. It's another one of these really big maps we have in the pool for Pro League. And this is a sign saying something about Kanata.
Well, Kanata's known for always picking the player that nobody expects to win.
Yeah, he's done it many times before. Times he said, oh, he was just bored and he wanted to have some fun with it, and that's why he picked it, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's not always so serious. I think his Hyva's a good player. I just feel like he's not as good these days as he was a year ago, and Bbyong has gotten better and better. Bbyong was like really good last season, but this season he's just on top of everything. He's got a great record right now, great win ratio in Pro League.
And he's in practice for like true professional StarCraft 2 play, where he's like going to tournaments all the time. He's playing in Pro League every week, and he's like always in the booth and always getting that kind of experience, whereas Hyva isn't really having the same, you know, experiences. And maybe he's back at the house practicing really hard, but it's not quite the same.
But he just doesn't have recent results, and Bbyong is being picked every week to come out and play consistently, like every time. Whereas Hyva hasn't been picked at all this season, just recently joined MVP, was on Seoul, was producing decent results for them. But, you know, just in recent times has not been able to perform. And that's why I think Bbyong is pretty highly favored here.
Yeah. Well, Hyva's going to take that third base. Not a double expand before pool, but pretty early at that. Does see the, you know, the early, well, the CC first there for Bbyong, so feels safe to grab another base there, be a bit greedy economically.
He actually pulled a lot of drones out of gas, Hyva did, so he's 1 in one of them and 2 in the other. So he's getting a lot of extra mineral income right now, so that's important to note. He's not too heavy on the gas mining right now, even though he does have 2 extractors.
Yeah, just wanted to get that speed out. Can be very useful for stopping aggression, especially when you go for those 3 bases pretty early.
Yeah, pretty helpful. Now, you know, just at this moment in time, adding his upgrades a little bit later. But he's getting his drone count out pretty high with this, with all that extra minerals that he has.
Yeah. Bbyong back at his base. He's starting to make these Hellions. No big Reaper harass this time. But he is getting 2 Hellions at a time. He's going to start running those around the map, going to clear out the watchtowers, going to put on some of that aggression. And he has these 2 barracks. He's starting to get that Bioforce up. He's going to start Stim right now as well.
Yeah, he's not really able to put on a ton of aggression at this moment in time like you would normally be able to do if you didn't go for a CC first. His economy is in great shape, but he just hasn't powered out those units just yet. It looks like he wants to go for a Hellbat drop with that early armory that he added. Yeah. That Transformation Servos upgrade hasn't been removed yet, so he does still need that armory to make this. And you know, he's going to have to use, like, he has to make Hellbats out of the factory, is what I'm saying, because if that patch goes through, he would be able to just transform some of his Hellions once the armory is ready. Not out yet, not sure if that's going to happen, but heavily discussed right now.
Well, Zergling's coming over here, just making about 12 and making 6 back more at home. He's getting the melee upgrades as well as the upgrades for his ground units for armor. Those Zerglings getting a little bit too ahead of themselves. I think Hyva just wasn't paying attention running into that army, but he does see the composition now of what is coming across the map toward his base.
He needs a Baneling Nest, and he starts it. But the question is it too late? Because this army that's coming across is really strong. As Hellions at the front, that can actually kite and do line damage. Then the actual buff of this army, the tough part of it, has some Marauder support and has those Hellbats to clean up the Speedlings that make it through. So let's see. Here's that line damage I was talking about. He comes over here to harass. And if the units actually run back... Oh, no, he's actually just going to go for Mineral Line here.
The units over here, though, getting surrounded, and the Hellbat's not doing enough damage with the AoE, but over here as well, getting cleaned up pretty nicely. Starts to attack his own Extractor, fixes that pretty quickly. And without Banelings, he's actually going to hold this. I have to say, not the best micro here out of Bbyong.
Also consider that Bbyong had his medevac surrounded, or targeted by the Queens early on, so he was able to target that down really fast, Hyva was, and that really meant that Bbyong couldn't lift up and run away once that started to go sour. So it wasn't really a multitasking issue where he was focused on his Hellions that were harassing and negating what was going on with his Hellbats. He just couldn't lift because it was a really fast target there by Hyva. Very well done. And Hyva in this game right now is looking to be in decent shape. A ton of factories being added here. It seems like this mix of you know, Marines and these factory units today has been quite popular.
Yeah, Terran built choice today. Well, Terran is going to start coming over here. Bbyong is going to clear that creep up. See, Terrans do this all the time. There's not enough out here for the Zerg just yet. He is getting the Baneling speed.
Yeah, he needs that
out here
because there's a lot of Hellbats in this army. It seems like it could become a lot more. Really curious to see what else he's going to do with those factories. He has 8 Hellbats on the map right now. Now 10, in fact. He's making 2 tech labs. Looks like we might actually just see him go into some siege tanks here behind this. Would not mind it. Could also go into that Blue Flame upgrade for the Hellbats he already has out on the map.
Yeah, and funnily enough, Hyvo's able to sneak a Changeling in there, and he's seeing those factories go up. So he's like, okay, you're getting a lot of factories. I'm going to need to get maybe some Roaches later on. He's going to add that Roach Warren. He's going to get the +1 to range damage as well. So I feel like Hyva is very, very prepared for what Bbyong's trying to throw at him.
Looks like it's going to be Thor's first because he's scared of Mutalisk. And this army is still almost purely factory units, but he has a few... He's getting 1 Marauder and 2 Marines at a time. He's continuing to get the bio upgrades. It's a good little cheap buffer to have to your mech. There's that Blue Flame upgrade I was talking about. Looks like he's going to cut siege tanks out for now. He needs that anti-air because he doesn't have a whole lot of Marines on the map right now. In fact, right now he has only 13, so that's enough to deal with the Mutalisk alone, but if a few Baneling hits eliminate those, then he's got a big problem on his hands.
Yeah. Hyva back at his base, making those Roaches as well as a bunch of Banelings. Getting a lot of upgrades for all of the units he's going to need against this.
Now, I mean, this is a very strong push that might actually end up crossing the map here. It's not maxed out. It does have its weaknesses. But with this many Thors, just to buffer with those Marines, the Mutalisks aren't going to be answered. He doesn't have a lot of Roaches. He doesn't have Roach speed. His +2 Carapace is going to finish, but he doesn't have... you know, a whole lot of Banelings, but the Banelings he does have aren't going to be useful against the Marauders or the Thors. This is a scary push. I think Hyva's like, what are you doing to me? This is not what we normally see in this matchup.
Yeah, Hyva making as well 8 Overlords at the same time. May have gotten supply blocks there. Definitely going to hinder his ability to make enough units, but it seems like Bbyong actually just clearing up the creep once again and backing off, not having the most confidence going into that push.
Yeah, definitely not. 2 turrets being added over here at the 3rd base. He's got a 4th command cert coming up. And here come those swarm hosts. 2 of them, and the increased lifetime for Locusts.
Yep.
Enduring Locust upgrade coming out here.
I like it. It's great for dealing with this push that's going to come across. It's going to delay it so much. It's going to take much longer for the turn to get across the map. It's also going to use that ranged upgrade that he got for the Roaches earlier on.
Yeah. Now 3 siege tanks coming out, and he's still just making 1 Marauder and 2 Marines at a time, so he's pretty much cut the bio production down to that much. He's not going to be adding anymore. He has 1/1 upgrades, but there's +2 armor out for these Zerg units. He has +1 for his Lings and his Roaches, and of course the +2 armor applies to everything on the ground. This is a pretty scary commitment here. You know, if he really commits to this, I don't think it's going to be worth it. Like, there's too much to defend.
I don't, yeah, I have to agree. I think he's going to come over here and start picking at some units while he gets the swarm hosts out, but they got to get across the map, and this is a long map to start doing damage. Maybe he wants to, you know, drag this army, pull it apart a bit. Once those Locusts start coming as well, it could definitely be annoying. So far, not being too aggressive with this, just taking a really strong position up there on the high ground.
Yeah, there were no siege tanks nearby, so he could kind of abuse that fact for a little while. And now that the siege tanks are starting to get closer, he's kind of done, but he might get cut off. Meanwhile, there's a Hellion harass going on over here. But does he get cut off? No, not quite. Don't forget these Hellions have Blue Flame, but with these Locusts coming, he's going to have to move. But this scary Terran Death Ball is moving ever so close now to that creep. He wants to just keep pushing it, moving it back. That's what the Hellbats are doing. Or rather, the Hellions on the right side of the map, clearing up some of that creep. It's like they got cleared up themselves at the same time.
Yep, there's 1 Hellion left on the map. Now with, you know, just a small group of swarm hosts, I think it's about 8. Those Locusts are going to start pushing out on the map, and really just defensively here, he's not going to be able to get them close enough. He's going to have to move them again because this army of the Terran that just looks so undefeatable, so strong, is going to start pushing. But look at this, just a small group of Muta is going to pick off some of these SCVs, but it looks like Bbyong's not even concerned about that.
No, not really. He splits so well here. Those are the Banelings hitting Thors, but on the other hand, consider that with all these Locusts here, doesn't look like it will matter. He's just got so much range damage here. Nice pickups on those Thors. Looks like the Mutalisks are shut down. Now, this seems like an incredible victory here for Hyvaa, but consider he's also going to lose this base, which he really does need. Oh, will he save it?
Well, I feel like if he just focused it down with those Marauders, he would have been able to pick it off. Even drop down those Thors, it should have been okay.
Okay, he's still going to get it, I think. It's at 379.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to get it.
He's just going to focus it down, and that's a down base there. Going to leave Hyvaa on those 4 bases.
And this mech army is still hard to kill, so it's not like he's going to be able to counterattack right now. But he needs to go home and repair, and his bank is pretty lacking. He has a few extra CCs, but they're not on additional bases just yet. He doesn't have that additional gas mining. So Bbyong is behind. It's not something he can't recover from, though. It's just that Hyvaa's bank is out of control at 4,000, 1,200 right now, approximately. You know, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. We're seeing the bulk, or almost all of Hyvaa's army right now is in these Swarm hosts. He's got 19. He's going to add a bunch of roaches to that as well, but these tanks need support. They are going to get that support, but not before one of the tanks is going to go down, and those Locusts, they're free. He's going to be able to move these Swarm hosts over to the right side now of this base. Doesn't want to get them clawed out here.
Definitely not. Looks like he could scan and kill one if he had the energy. Doesn't do it, though. Now, that upgrade that you guys see on the production tab, well, it's not up on the production tab right now, but it was a moment ago that looks like almost like a bullet bill or something, is actually the Transformation Servos upgrade. He's getting that upgrade for his Hellions to be able to switch them between Hellion and Hellbat modes constantly, and that's going to be giving him a little bit more mobility on the map, something that may be removed from the game coming up soon, but the thing is, I think this is the first time I've ever seen that upgrade used in a televised match. Oh, wow, that was very close to killing that Swarm host.
And look at this. Those 26 roaches, they're going to go for a counterattack. There's only 3 siege tanks over here. There is a bunker to defend for a while, but once they get close to those siege tanks, they are going to be forfeit.
Yeah, but you know, the thing is, I think he realizes that he's going to trade this pretty well here, get some SCVs, maybe get the siege tanks. That's why he doesn't harass and stay on the high ground and just kill the SCVs for free, because he wants to free up supply. He's going to a 23 Mutalist switch right now, and this Hellion harass over here could pose to be a very big problem for these drones. He's already killed that base. The Swarmos are going back to defend, and he's still killing so many drones here.
Yep, just going on the high ground. They are going to have enough range to start raining down fire on those drones, but coming from behind are the Roaches. Going to pick off a couple of these Hellions, but the Hellion's pretty fast. Going to be able to get out there, but again, 5th base of Hyvaa is denied.
He's actually going into +3 for his bio. He's cut Marauder production for a little bit here as he is maxed. I'll give you guys some numbers. I mean, he's at 5 Marauders and 14 Marines. So just a little bit of bio here, but he's getting that upgrade. He's also getting the upgrade for durable materials that will allow his point defense drones. It increases the lifetime on a lot of different things, notably the point defense drone, which is going to be really important against the Swarmos, also against Mutalisks. I mean, we're starting to see all sorts of upgrades that we don't normally see in StarCraft 2.
Yep. Turrets are not ready here at the natural, but 1 Thor and a couple of Vikings are going to be okay. But look at this, again, harass on the high ground with the Roaches, and now he's going to come to the main base, maybe able to fight those Vikings, actually, but maybe not with the Thor.
Yeah, with the Thor, it's a bit too much. He loses, actually, his +3 attack upgrade. That doesn't finish. And these Hellbats with that Transformation Servos are getting some work done over here. But it's the Vikings really that zones him out with that 1 Thor. Without the Thor, he can't do this. We have another switch here into a few Ultras, just 2. He can afford a bit more than that, but he doesn't have the supply available right now to make any further. And let's see if he can get even a shot off here. 1, 2 shots there.
Yep, gets a couple. The Hellions are going to come over here again, only getting about 3 drone kills and a bunch of them being picked off. But again, just Minerals trading for some drones, pretty decent.
He really does need to restart that +3. Okay, he starts the armory now. So he's, of course, respecting how important it is to get the upgrades out, but it's really, really important. I almost feel like he didn't notice for a while that happened. Now, this army for Hyvaa is still really scary. He has 15 Mutas, 18 Swarmos, soon to be 4 Ultras. And the Ultras are... they need to be dealt with Siege Tanks and Marauders. He's still kind of stopped Marauder production here.
Yeah, adding 2 Ravens at a time.
Yeah, they're not going to be too useful against those Ultras.
Yeah. Well, the Locusts are continuing to come in here. Just every time they do a little bit of damage, it just gets repaired, so it's not doing much but keep the Terran army back. But these Mutas are really what are doing the damage so far. Going to pick off another Sensor Tower here.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys could see what I just saw on my observing PC. Like, he tried to click on it and cancel it, but he just couldn't do it fast enough, so there's no cancel on that turret. He was very aware that that was happening. Looks like he's going to try to hit a push here with his secret missiles, his PDDs, everything he has. He's got a lot of tanks in tank mode here, and the PDDs are actually going to work against the Mutalisks as well. Don't forget, it's the Ultralists, though, that are concerned, but he has so many siege tanks. Auto turrets using here as a wall against the Ultralists. And I don't know, this might have been a bad engagement for hyvaa to take. He's remaxing instantly with 8 Ultralists, as well as 8 additional Mutalisks. But I don't know, this base is going down, man. His gas bank is gone.
Yep, base is down. He's going to have a hard time making those gas units, whereas Bbyong back at home, he's got a boom in economy. He's going to be okay with that 4th base. Going to immediately max again. And once the Ravens are over here, they are going to get vision of those swarm hosts, going to have to back off or risk being picked off.
He's actually starting to kill some of those overlords. And some secret missiles going down, but he's in the Vikings. He baits there, stays a little bit longer, then pulls back at the last second. So many of the Mutalisks going down. This is starting to be a very expensive trade here for hyvaa. He still has those swarm hosts, and he killed a lot of the Ravens. Raven count down to 7, but that's still a lot. And this base is still in range of siege tank fire.
Yeah, and after he was able to take down that 4th base, hyvaa should have transferred over to that 5th base that's over there to the left. He has actually got 2 bases over there, but not transferred just yet.
Yeah, it's almost like he's got tunnel vision on this location to the right side that he's so focused on right now. And the Ultralisk Cavern is targeted. It's getting low. Queen over here doesn't look like it has enough for transfuse. 1 transfuse? Oh, he's dead.
Yep, just 1 transfuse, but that's not enough. And look at the entire army of hyvaa come back here. Eventually, I think those drones, yeah, they finally were transferred over to that 5th base. He's going to restart the 4th base as well.
But suddenly we're in a situation where hyvaa has no bank. And the gases are just now being taken at that base you're talking about over to the top left, like at the 11 o'clock.
Those are so important.
And the 10 o'clock base doesn't have anything. No drones, no gas. PDD over here going to help some of these Vikings survive. I don't think he's going to want to drop any secret missiles on those Ultralists, but it looked like he was considering it. Uh-oh, Transformation Servos is active, and here we go. Coming over to this base, and
oh my God!
Oh, he doesn't see it! That freaked me out. He kills all the larvae, by the way. That's all ignited.
Yep, they do burrow, but with the scan, he is able to see it, and finally, leaders are able to come back. But look at the drone count right now for hyvaa, 26.
Yeah, he's got basically no income. He's making drones right now. You never want to be making drones at the 30-minute mark, okay? Now, a few Banshees are starting to be added in here. Though I like this a lot because he has a lot of buffer for them. He has air control. And with just a few Banshees, he can maybe snipe hatcheries, help snipe the Ultralists. You know, just anything he can because they're flying units that do a large amount of DPS. He never actually remade +3. That's something I'm a bit disappointed about because his army is not even fully upgraded right now, mind you. It's hard to believe, I know, but it's not even fully upgraded at this moment.
Yeah. Drop coming over here with some Marines, only 3, but there is no defense over here, no spine crawlers. Those drones are all going to have to be pulled away. And that's so unfortunate. It's going to delay more mining that he can't afford to be losing right now.
Yeah, he's actually drawn this huge army away. Oh no, now he's going to try to catch it, Brendan. He's got, the Ultras even are chasing here, and he's moving his army into position to try to trap the Zerg army. I don't think he's going to get there in time, but this is a scary amount of Ravens. He has 11 Ravens right now. Okay, now he's going to hit this base hard. He's actually just going to come over here and kill them. He's going to like surgically remove them from the map. Okay, he's been seen. This could be the engagement that decides this entire game. Remember, no bank for hyvaa right now, except in gas. He's got 1,000 gas, but no minerals really to speak of.
And Bbyong setting up a position here. He's putting down those auto turrets that have the extra time. And now it seems like hyvaa wants to come in here and engage with the Locust. Does do it. Nice blinding clouds on a lot of that, and they are not doing much damage. PDDs come down, though. The Muta's not doing much damage. They are going to be forced back, and these Ultras eventually will be cleaned up, but it is so many Ultras.
Yeah, that's so many Ultras. And you know what? The blinding clouds actually changed that fight. But now that he's got all these auto turrets here as well as those PDDs, the Locust can't really do too much. It's all about these Ultralists. But he lost his Ultras, and he can't replace those. He can't. He can't afford that. Now we're going to see probably some auto turret harass over here.
Yeah. You don't even need to scan. Those Ravens can see you. The burrow is not going to help you, drone.
He's even going to target down Ultralists with Vikings here.
Doesn't want to lose those Vikings, though. He's going to want to, you know, switch back into that air for him. Nice micro here. Maybe able to pick those up.
Yeah, I don't know about this one.
Loses a bunch of Vikings that he doesn't really want to lose right now.
I mean, he didn't kill that Ultra. I understand the idea here. But the thing is, he has a better bank, and he knows Hyvaa is hurting for economy. How does he know? Because he's killed everything himself personally. He's been seeing to that constantly throughout this entire game with his Hellions and his Hellbats. So he's constantly switching back between Hellion mode and Hellbat mode.
Yeah. Hyvaa going to have to transfer some drones over here. Here they come. Eventually, we got this one Guardian Ultralisk going to defend that, but more mutas do get made. And actually, after that giant fight, none of the Swarm hosts really went down. I think only 2 went down. But again, another problem over there, an Overseer being made to try to deal with those Cloaked Banshees.
As long as you're on top of making sure you're putting your PDDs down. Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
And all those drones died to the Banshees. We didn't really talk too much about that. He has only 21 drones left. And if you control your Ravens well, Stormhost might as well not exist because he's just going to have so many PDDs to kill everything, to kill all those shots. They're just going to avoid the shots. He repairs over here. He's got a planetary, so this orbital tanks, the siege tanks and the planetary do the rest until he builds up the rest of that energy. So those units aren't doing him any favors right now. This is a pretty pathetic production tab here for Hydra. You know, he's just for Hyvaa, excuse me. He's trying to make what he can. 5 mutas. That's all he can try to make. It's all he can afford.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a gas bank. I mean, compared to his minerals, so he just wasn't mining any gas because he needed the minerals so desperately. With the 21 drones that he has, now we see finally some more upgrades coming over here for Bbyong, realizing that they are not finished.
Yeah, no, not quite. Well, I mean, just looking at this map, I mean, you can see that there's a lot of creep on the map. There's a lot of bases. It's just that drone count that's the problem. Like, if he makes only drones and he doesn't have any attacking units, then he dies. But if he makes only attacking units, he can only make a few of those. So he has to balance out making a few more mutas and a few more drones slowly but steadily until he can try to work his way back into this game. Whereas we're going to have a big drop over here by Bbyong yet again. He's got mutas, though, and these are only Hellbats. So should be able to wipe these out. A burrow here might be appropriate.
Well, just going to be able to run away those Hellbats not being targeted, and the Medivacs actually flying away. I think one of those do survive, but with nothing in them. This Hellion's going to come over here, kill some much-needed larvae, maybe later on in the game. Actually,
you know, killing larvae is not a bad choice. I will say, though, right now, Hyvaa has 57, 58 larvae. You know, now going down to 54 as he makes a few more units, but it's just a big point here is he just can't spend his money because he doesn't have money to spend. He can't spend his gas because he doesn't have enough minerals, or he can't spend his minerals because he doesn't have enough gas. Like, he's trying to balance all of this out. When you're on a low economy in the late game, it's so hard to do this. Yep. When you're up against a player who has a decent economy and the whole bottom of the map is controlled by him, it gets even harder.
And now we see Bbyong. He knows that this is the attack path for him. If he comes to the right side, can definitely do a lot of damage coming over there. Is going to have to deal with these mutas first. They do take out a bunch of these SCVs.
Yeah, I think he's just going to try to go for the kill here, because even if Hyvaa tries to circumvent him with those fast mutas count right now is too low. He only has 15. He's going to have 17 soon. There is one Ultrawist on the map. That's it. And those Swarmos, like I said, are basically useless if he drops PDDs.
Yeah, that one suicide Swarmhost says, I don't want to be part of the Zerg race anymore. I want to end this game. And Bbyong is going to push forward. He's going to siege slowly. A couple of tanks at the time. Does not want to be caught off guard by the Swarmhost, and the Locust coming out. Going to put down some nice PDDs and auto turrets even to tank here.
I mean, he wipes the energy on those PDDs in like no time, but here come those Banshees we were talking about earlier.
Scans coming down, can double shot all of these Swarmos. The mutas finally come over here, but he's looks like he was just going to sacrifice them, but now he's going to come back here, going to fight those mutas head on.
Seeker missiles will fizzle out here as they're not able to maintain range on the mutas. Well, oh, transformation servos, what's up? All he needs to do is scan, and this is going to be a Korean barbecue over here. Meanwhile, we have Auto Turret City, Auto Turret Metropolis in the main base.
It's targeting all the buildings in there. The Hive is probably going to go down, as well as the Spire and the Infestation Pit.
He has,
these tanks are totally, you know, they don't even need defense. They could just walk in.
He has the the durable materials too, so those auto turrets are like not going to time out. They're just going to be there. They are just going to kill everything. Bbyong could spell his name in auto turrets soon, and it would be totally reasonable for him to do so.
Yeah. Hyva's just trying to make this work. He's got the mutas over there to defend the Swarmos, and he may be able to pick off some bases, but I think in a base trade situation, Bbyong should be just fine.
His buildings can fly, and he can kill the Mutalisk. That's the problem. If he kills the Mutalisk once, then all he has to do is fly and then walk around the map and kill everything that's on the ground, because there's nothing on the ground that Hyva is going to be able to use to win this game. Finally, the upgrades are restarted, in fact, for Bbyong right now, and he's going to get +3 armor for his bio, which he doesn't have any bio. Like, he's getting +3 armor for 2 Mirars, 4 Marines, and all of his SCVs, I guess. This is looking like it's going to be the end. There's a few extractors on the right side of the map that he is going to have to eliminate before he can actually eliminate everything else. The spawning pool isn't even remade here, so he can't make layers. And it's been a great game by Hyva. Really impressive game for him being gone for so long. But he's up against Bbyong, and he's up against a wacky composition that we just don't normally see. Ling's buffered here by the turrets. I think that's it.
Trying to fly in here, but the Thor is here. PDDs, way too many PDDs than he even needs. And there's the GG. CJ Entus with that win. They are going to go 3-0 against MVP and secure themselves a spot in the playoffs.
CJ has really been one of my favorite teams to watch this season because they started off shaky. Round 2, they looked better. Round 3, they're hanging in there, always showing some really good plays. I love that Coach Park double high five there. And some of their players really have evolved over the course of this season quite immensely.
Yeah, one of those guys being Bbyong. He's, you know, even in the beginning of round 1, he wasn't showing us his full potential. But once he came into, you know, his full, like, mighty form here for CJ Entus, using him and Hero, they've been able to just take so many games. And it really spells success for them as they do clinch the spot here for the round 3 playoffs.
Story here for MVP, I feel, is actually the story of Hyva. Like, he hasn't played it all this season. And for MVP, if they won, they still wouldn't have gotten through. They would have just denied CJ and, you know, created, I guess, the final part for them in the group and would have gotten a little bit of pride, I guess. But to send Hyva out here and then he hits such a good player and puts up such a great fight against a composition he probably hasn't really seen too much of, I like that. That's impressive to me.
Yeah. And now we